Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be doing the AP Computer Science free response question 2024, question 3. This question involves the manipulation and analysis of a list of words. So we're writing a class called WordChecker, which has an attribute, which is an array list string called wordList. And we're going to write a few methods. The first one's going to be public boolean isWordChain, which is going to return true if each element of word list contains a previous element as a substring. Okay. And then the second method is going to be public array list string create list, which takes in a string argument target. So both of the methods are explained in part A and part B. So first, let's just write out the outer structure of what we need for this class. So word checker. And then in word checker, we have a private array list string word list, and let's import that. And then we have a method public boolean is word chain, and then we also have a method public array list string is create list, which takes in a string target. Okay, and to get started, so let's look at part A, right? The isWordChain method, which determines whether each element of word list except the first contains the previous element as a substring. The following table shows two sample isWordChain method calls. So in this case, an is a substring of band, which is a substring of band, which in band is a substring of abandoned, so it returns true. Two is a substring of two. Two is a substring of stool, but stool is not a substring of tools, so that returns false. And then, okay, the precondition is that word list contains at least two elements. So that means that we can just start at the second element in the list. And the reason we want to start at the second element is basically we want to compare that element, so that current word with the previous word, and make sure that the previous word is a substring of the current word. And that leads us to use, you'd think we'd want to use substring, but what we actually want to use is index of, because that'll tell us if the word is where the word is in the current word, and it'll return -1 if it's not in current word at all. So let's go ahead and start. So we're gonna have a for loop. It's gonna go from the second index, so like the first index of the second element, to the length or the size of the array list, just like that. And then so the current word is going to be so let's just copy this over this, oops, text, just like that. So the current word, so we'd be starting at like band in this case, is going to be word list dot get I. The previous word is going to be word list dot get I -1. We don't have to worry about indices because since we're starting at the second element in the list, we always know that the previous one is also there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say if word list dot get, or sorry, not word list, if current word dot get dot index of rev word, if that is equal to -1, so which means the previous word is not a substring of current word, then we're just going to return false. And if we make it through all of the words in the list from the second word on, and all of them have the previous word as a substring, that means we can just return true. Cool. And then let's go ahead and look at the second method. And in this case, for example, so in this case, what would happen is 2, when current word is 2, this would still pass because 2 is in there in 2. When stool is a current word and prev word is 2, that still works because 2 is in stool. And then when tools is the current word and prev word is stool, that's when it fails, and then this should return -1. Cool. And then in the create list method, what we want to do is create and return an array list string that checks if each word starts with the target word, and then we want to return a new list containing all of the words that start with a target, but then we want to like cut the target substring out of the word. So basically in this case, catch, bobcat, catch a cat, and cat and that. If the target is cat, so catch starts with cat, so we want to add that to our result list, but we want to remove the cat, so we just add the ch. Bobcat does not start with cat. Catch cat does start with cat. So we would just want to add this part. Cat starts with cat. So we just want to add the empty string, and then at does not start with cat. And in this case, catch, this one starts with catch. So we subtract that from the string, and which it gives us just the empty string. This doesn't start with catch. This does start with catch. And if we remove catch, we just get cat, which we append to, or we get a cat, which we append to the result. And this doesn't start with catch, and this doesn't start with catch. Cool. So let's go ahead and get started. So we want to modify this. We don't want to modify the original list, so we want to create a new list, array list string. Let's call this result. Result equals new array list string. That. What we want to do is we want to go through each word. So I equals 0, I less than word list dot size, I plus plus, and then what we want to do is we want to check if the word, if the current word, so let's create a variable called string current word equals a word list dot get I. So we want to check if the current word starts with target. The easiest way to do that is that index of method again. Index of tells us where the first occurrence is, returns the index of the first occurrence of string. So if we do current word dot index of target, and we find that it's not equal to 0, so it's not at the very beginning of the word, that means current word does not start with target. And then in this case, actually what we want to do is we want to find all the ones that do start with target, because those are the only ones we want to do anything with. And then for those, what we want to do is we kind of want to remove the beginning of the word. So we want to remove target out of the word. And the easiest way to do that is actually to use this substring method, which will give us, so if we pass it a from index, it'll give us a substring from to the end of the word. So if we know, for example, that like in this case, so let's copy this. So if we know, so that's our word list, and let's say our target is cat. Since we know the target length, so we know this is 3 letters, what we can do is we can just get, so when catch is the current word and we know that it starts with cat, what we want to do is just get the ch. So what we can do is just do the substring. So we'll do string word or word minus target, call it string word minus target equals current word dot substring, and we know what the length of target is, so do target dot length, and basically that will just give us so target dot length is 3, so it'll start not at 0, not at 1, which is the A, not at 2, which is the T, but it'll start at 3, index 3, which is a C. And in this case, it'll start at, again, not 0, not 1, not 2, but at this C, which is the third index, and it'll give us a CHA cat as we expected. And then so once we have the word minus target, all we want to do is just add that to our result list and then return that. Return result. Just like that. And real quick, we can just write up a driver class to test this out. Driver, so I'm going to write public static void main string args, just like this. Create a new array list string word list. What's new array list? So let's test out the first method. So we had so we had word list dot add and we had word list dot add band, word list dot add band, and word list dot add a band done like that. And so we want to know if this is a word chain. So it's word chain equals word list. One thing we're going to need here for a word checker is a constructor. This isn't part of the problem, but in order to run this code, we actually need to add a constructor that's going to add this. It's going to initialize this word list. So we can do this dot word list equals word list, just like that. And then now we can just create a word list object, or we can create a word checker. Word checker WC equals new word checker. We're going to pass it in a word list, and we're going to say is word chain is equal to WC dot is word chain, just like that. And we're going to system.out.println is word chain, just like that. And we expect this to return true. And then the other case was when it was two stool tools, two stool tools. So there's that case, so that's false. And then now let's try out the array list stuff. So array list string equals result. So result, oops, array list result is going to be equal to word chain dot create list with cat. And then what we're going to do is for string word and result. Just gonna system.out.println the result, just like that. And let's update our word list to be catch bobcat, catch bobcat, catch a cat, cat, and at, just like this. Oh, we want to do system.out.println word. Cool. So it gave us cha cat and the empty string. And then if we do catch instead, catch, it will give us the empty string and a cat. And lastly, dog, it should give us nothing. Nice.